very important to ensure that there is value for money. The other area of interest in this committee was
wait and you respond. But if we are going to have a dialogue, this one talking this one, then we are going to have a disaster. Let me request that if one honorable mind has finalized, we will ask the defense side.
Madam Chairperson, I will finalize the question.
When their bodies come, it looks like we just hear that the bodies are supposed to be accompanied by someone
likely to be compensated for those helicopters. The reason they are giving, one is that the helicopters were not yet in the mission area. But it's not only the helicopters which were demanding for compensation, because as we were carrying out operations in Somalia, we also lost some equipment before the UN came in to support that mission. Now the UN is also claiming that those equipments will not be compensated. So it's not only the helicopter. I think we have some tanks, we have some earth-moving equipment which were wanted to be compensated, but they are not willing to compensate.
How much are we talking about?
Well, off cuff, I can't tell you how much it is, but I think the total, without the helicopters, the total package of the other claims was about $10 million.
Are you resting the case there, or are you still pursuing it despite?
We have not rested. We are still going to knock on doors. We are still going to make an effort because we believe we have a genuine reason to make those claims. These helicopters were inspected by the UN. They were passed, fit for the mission. They were on their way to the mission area because there's no way they would have reached the mission area without going there anyway. So the argument that they were not in the mission area doesn't hold a lot of water.
But what does this now mean to the mission? Are you now demoralized?
Of course, it's highly demoralizing, development. Because one of the reasons why that mission is struggling is because of lack of what we call force multipliers. These are helicopters, attack helicopters. And we had made an effort to do that, provide that. Now, with that not being honored by the people we expect to honor, how much will it encourage another country, leave alone Uganda, to send equipment into that mission? And yet they are very much desired on the ground.
And the other issue that we need that came up was the issue to do with the European Union.
By January this year, the EU, as the European Union, which has been responsible for the allowances of the troops on the ground, communicated that because of reasons which they couldn't explain, that they were going to cut down on the allowances by 20%, which literally means that the allowance level at which we had been operating of 1,028 is going to reduce to 828. The question is, what will the troop contributing countries do to mitigate the administrative requirements of that mission? Because when they were giving us the 1,028, $200 was being deducted to address the administrative costs. Now, if it comes to 828, will the country still reduce $200? Probably not. We are considering something within the range of $100. What does that mean effectively to the soldier? It means the soldier will also lose $100 in effect, because when they were getting 1,028, if you deduct 200, you are left with 828. Now, when they are getting 828, if you reduce by 100, you will get 728. So in effect, he has lost 100. So that's what we are saying. That's what we are likely to do.
What does that mean for the
$100 million question? Is this mission sustainable? And how reliable are we going to rely on these partners if today they are reducing by 200, tomorrow possibly they reduce by another 200, and what will be the fate? So we want this to be heard by all the concerned, especially the United Nations, because the United Nations, which is responsible for international peace and security. The situation in Somalia is a situation which everybody at one time was worried about. You remember at one time piracy was at its highest. Prices everywhere had gone through the roof because of the piracy on the seas. Now, the President Museveni one time said that pilots are not aquatic animals. They stay on the land. If you stabilize the land, the pirates will end. We have more or less stabilized the land. That's why there's no piracy now in Somalia, off the coast. Now, if we don't get this support, if we are going to continue with this kind of frustrations, where is our moral strength to continue with the mission? So there is a danger in the mission. It may not be only Uganda. I think even other troop contributing countries are feeling the peace.
So do you think this is now time for Uganda to...
It is time for us to sit down with all the partners and see whether people really value what we are doing in Somalia, and whether they feel that the Somalis as other as other human beings deserve being helped or not.
In March this year, the UPDF establishment were threatening to withdraw from the mission.
Yes.
So does this now form the justification of your other position?
It actually adds more reason for us to push for that.
Push for what?
Push for the withdrawal of our troops.
Then sit here.
Yes.